Greetings, YouTube. I have been sent the same question, not a lot, but enough to make a video because it's a great question. And it's a question that I think is highly underrated for those of you who are uncollected and who are trying to decide both with the resources you have and just overall with the 12,000 unit question. Should I push to become Cavalier in the next couple weeks before July 4th? Or should I wait and use the units from July 4th to get the Cavalier 12,000 unit bundle when I become Cavalier? I love this question. This is a question that is so rare in Marvel Contest of Champions because it's really the first time in the history of the game that you can count on two things. You're going to have the opportunity to get a bunch of units as a bonus with great items, even if you're just uncollected, quote unquote, and you miss out on a couple of the Cavalier opportunities, specifically if they make, say, a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal available to only Cavalier people, you're still going to have the opportunity to get a bunch of 5-star shards and Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst Fragments, and maybe even Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments and or 6-star shards. So here's the deal. When July 4th happens, and when Cyber Monday happens, Kabam knows that suddenly you're flushed with units. And that means it's sort of like walking into a Dave and Buster's and all of a sudden somebody hands you like, I don't know, $20 worth of tokens, and you feel compelled to spend them right away. Only in this case, it's worse than that because you can't do anything with those tokens when you walk out of the restaurant. If you don't use them, you lose them. They're worthless. But units aren't that way. If you don't spend your units that you get on July 4th, they don't just magically disappear the next day. They're just in your inbox. But it's that people feel like, well, I have all these units, so I suddenly got to spend them. And so Kabam capitalizes on that by giving us traditionally offers that aren't that great. But we feel the need to spend the units anyway because we have them. You are staring at July 4th, 2018's unit deals. You will see how much the game has progressed since last year. Keep in mind the 4,000 unit deal, which is almost $150 worth of units, right? You just got one Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystal. Not even a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha. The 5-star Hero Crystal Shard ratio was just 2-1. 8,000 5-star shards for 4,000 units. 3 Tier 4 basics. 1,500 4-star shards, not even a fully formed 4-star. 3 Tier 1 alphas and 400,000 gold. Keep in mind that this was actually the second bundle because you had to buy to get to that point the 1,000 unit offer as typically on July 4th, and I'll be doing a full recap video at some point, probably the week before July 4th deals of what we've seen in years past. But this was the second of 3 options because it's a 15,000 unit bundle total. That deal today, that 4,000 unit deal, that would get a D rating by me because with Cavalier status now, you would have to get, to justify that, at least 15,000 5-star Hero Crystal Shards, but ideally 20,000 because I always talk about the 5-to-1 ratio is what I want at a minimum for Cavalier players. You would have to have at least 5 Tier 4 class Catalysts, and if you want to keep what we've seen in the past, you have to change it from 4 Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts. 4 Tier 2 Alphas, not less than 1. Okay, so then that unlocked the 10,000 unit deal, which everybody was excited about because for the first time in a long time, we actually saw the 5-star Awakening Gem Crystal. The problem is we've seen that like twice in the past month or so, and they've never charged us even $100, even an Odin for that. That's 3,000 units, right? So in order for this to be amazing, you would really have to get the opportunity to either have a 5-star generic like we saw on Cyber Monday and or a 6-star Awakening Gem. I do expect the 5-star Marvelous Crystal, which is essentially an opportunity to get one of the first 6 months worth of champions released in Marvel Contest of Champions. So everybody up to Invisible Woman and Namor in that. So you'll have a chance for like a Cold Obsidian or a Diablo. The 2019 champion so far, that's pretty consistent with their marketing. I expect them to do that again. But let's compare this 15,000 unit bundle. By the way, that last tier in the lens of today, I probably would grade at a B- at the most. C+ to B-. Let's compare that to this. The Act 6 Exploration Pack you get for your first initial completion of the final path of Act 6, Chapter 1. This is 3,000 units cheaper, which is significant. That's an Odin worth of units, basically, give or take 100 units, for less. In addition to that, you get all these incredible items to the right of you, which are well worth at least 3,000 units. So really, the price tag of this goes down to 9,000 units. So it becomes 6,000 units cheaper for the item that you're going to care about. Everything on the right is a bonus compared to that 5-star rank up Gem Crystal. Now let's get out of the way the biggest complaint with this, which I think is valid because this is still technically a gamble. You have a 1 out of 6 chance to get the specific class you're targeting, which is why you want to target all 6 classes really and have somebody in your head that you either want to take to rank 565 as a 5-star, or you want to just save that thing until a new 5-star champion comes out that is so good that you will use this on them. But what does this include? For 12,000 units, whatever class you land on, let's say that you land on Cosmic and you're going to wait to open that 5-star Coal Obsidian that just came out and take your Coal Obsidian eventually up to rank 565. That 12,000 units gets you the equivalency rank up items for that champion of 2 fully formed Tier 5 basic catalyst, 6 Tier 4 class catalyst, in this case Cosmic, 6 Tier 1 alphas, and 6 Tier 2 alphas. 6. Keep in mind, when we're talking about this thing, 12,000 units got you 6 Tier 2 alphas worth. 10,000 units last year got you 1. What? But the Tier 5 Basic remains the most impressive part of this offer because we have still routinely seen Kabam ask you for an Odin's worth of units that they would give you maybe 9,000 Tier 5 Basic, which is 1/5 of 1. So keep in mind, that's $500 worth of units. 15,000 units for 1 Tier 5 Basic. You get 2 of them. You basically get 30,000 units worth of Tier 5 Basic, plus all the other rank up items included with this crystal. It is my favorite bundle that we have seen this past year in Marvel Contest of Champions. And so I have to ask myself this question. At this point, it's a no-brainer, right? It's like choosing between the best steak you've ever had and expired Tide Pods for dinner. What would it take to uncollected people for this to be better than this in 2019? Here's what I'm going to tell you. At a minimum, the 10,000 unit bundle, because keep in mind, at this point, you've already spent 5,000 units to get to Tier 3. The minimum of this would essentially have to be what I think Cavalier is going to be if they do that separation and designation for the offer. It would have to be at least 7 Tier 2 alphas. Because keep in mind, we're spending 3,000 units more than the other one for 12,000 units. It would have to be a 5-star, but really, wouldn't it be amazing if it was a 6-star Marvelous Crystal? Wouldn't that be worth more to get a chance for a 6-star Cull? It would have to be a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal and a 5-star generic Awakening Gem. 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal plus a 5-star Awakening Gem. That's a generic gem, not a crystal. Just a gem you can use on anybody to awaken them. 7 Tier 2 alphas, and then at least 6 Tier 4 class catalysts, and the 10 Tier 1 alphas is fine. That's what it would take. My guess is we're not going to see that. We might see a couple things. Maybe you'll see the 5-star generic, but let's not overvalue Awakening Gems at this point. What's more valuable? A 5-star generic Awakening Gem or a rank 4 to rank 5 rank up crystal? I'm going to vote 100% of the time that rank up crystal because it takes the place of those items I just named. The 2 fully formed Tier 5 basic, the 6 Tier 4 class catalyst of that champions class, the 6 Tier 1 alphas, and the 6 Tier 2 alphas. You just, that's amazing. If that was a generic, it would be the most coveted item ever in the game because, of course, you could take any champion you wanted to rank 5. So I hope this answers your question for those of you who are really trying to figure out if it's worth it to go to Cavalier. My advice, for what it's worth, is to buy up all the unit items you can afford, unit bundles, for July 4th, and then use those units on the Cavalier bundle. So if I was you, I would get as close to Cavalier as possible, and then maybe save the last mini chapter of Act 6 Chapter 1, and then the minute you get these units, jump in, activate that offer, buy that offer, be happy. You triggered it when you wanted to. You had the patience to wait. You're being rewarded, and that's why my channel exists, to help you make the best educated decisions possible for your units and your money and reward you with the best possible outcome. Have a great day, YouTube. Thanks for watching.